Good afternoon and welcome to week number 3 of my follow-up talk based on the Action for Happiness event on the 10th of June called From Survival to Thriving. This week I want to talk about the impact statement, which the word impact is an acronym for one of the things that I have researched from a lived experience perspective, from an academic perspective, and from my work in and around education and psychology. And the word impact is an acronym for everything that we should be doing and can be doing in order to begin thinking about moving our lives into living as opposed to surviving. Now, during that talk, when I introduced the impact acronym, I told you that each letter stood for one of the words that really need expanding on for us to fully grasp and understand what we can do in order to heal. Now, the I in the impact statement stands for imagination. Trauma narrows our world right down to a single point of survival. Imagination is one of the few things that trauma cannot take away from us. It takes so much in terms of how it affects us, but what we are always left with is an opportunity to tap into our imagination. Imagination reintroduces possibility, and with that possibility comes hope and the ability to reimagine yourself, to use agency as a way of actually making a decision about how you want to proceed and what you want to do, about your experiences, about your feelings, your emotions, and also about being creative, because imagination really allows creativity to flow. Because when someone has lived through the unbearable, imagination becomes a quiet rebellion, a way of saying, I can get through this and I can be creative. I can create something new. Imagination restores agency. It helps to regulate emotions. And it reestablishes a sense of the future, a future with hope, a future with love, and a future where we can rebuild in order to flourish. We can begin to envisage small changes. We can even use that creative approach to reimagine a different ending or a different conversation. For example, one of the brilliant things about Gestalt therapy is that it gives you the opportunity to recreate endings. So, for example, if you play back a situation where you've had a conversation that felt threatening, that felt uncomfortable, you can use imagination in order to create that conversation and allow the conversation to be recreated in the way that you want it to end, giving you that sense of agency, as I mentioned before. Imagining a better ending and even imagining what better actually looks like. There are so many practical ways that we can use imagination, and again, I would really lean towards the creative approaches, using things like storytelling, guided imagery, art as a form of self-expression, poetry, keeping a journal, or drama, role play. There are just so many creative forms of self-expression, and I encourage you to be curious about all forms of self-expression. Try things out, see what works for you, see what feels right, but most importantly, open yourself up to the possibility of something new through using your imagination.